Good morning guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be filming my 24 books I would like to read in 2024. Now, some of these books I actually already own. I have a huge pile of books here next to me, and others I will need to buy. I'm going to try and get through the physical stack and the ones that I already own first, and then once I've read all of these I'll go out and purchase the rest. So some of them I have with me to show you today, and others I don't, and I'll put a picture on the screen. I'm sorry, that just went out of focus. It annoys me more than anything when that happens. But yeah, so the first three books that I have to show you are actually part of a series, and I've already read two of them, so we've made a good start so far, and they are from the Love Light Farm series. So the first one is Love Light Farms. It's about a Christmas tree farm. It's by the author B.K. Borison. I don't even know when this was published, but I know it's not a recent publish, I'm pretty sure. And I started reading this just before Christmas because it is set on a Christmas tree farm, so I was like, ooh, Christmas tree vibes, like Christmas vibes in general. It is the sweetest romance book. I finished it early January, so I'm counting it as a 2024 read, because I definitely read most of this year. And this is book number 1, and you meet 3 characters in this book that then have their own books in the rest of the series. So the second book that I wanted to read, and I have already read, is In the Weeds. Now, In the Weeds follows a side character from this book, and he gets his own love story in the second book, obviously by the same author, set in the same town. You see a lot of the characters from the first book in this book as well. Again, just a super sweet, wholesome book. This one actually, I don't know, made me I didn't cry like it, but it was just like, you feel I connected with the characters and I really liked them. And then the book that I'm currently reading, again in the same series, is called Mixed Signals. Now this, I'm literally, as you can see, I'm not very far through this book, but again, same. I just feel like these stories are honestly sort of realistic compared to a lot of other romance books that I've read. So very lucky and very happy that these are sort of potentially stories and people's actual romance stories that would happen in real life. They seem realistic, so really like that. So far I'm really enjoying this book. And this author, I haven't read anything else from her. I don't even know if she has any other books, but definitely recommend these. I like that you get to sort of see the progressions of the characters, because you meet them in the first book and then they each get their own book after, so you sort of get to know them more, and it's just this whole world that you're sort of immersed in and get to know the characters really well. And honestly, I'm sure it'll be hard to pick a favorite once I've read this, finish this one, because so far I'm like, oh, I love Luca and Stella's story, and then I liked Beckett and Evelyn's story, and now I really like Layla and Caleb's story so far, even though I'm literally 60 pages in. So anyway, they are the first 3 books on my TBR, and so far I have read 2 of them and I'm on to the third, so very happy about that. Book number 4 is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Now this is creased because I have already started to read this. I did read probably about 20 pages of this and I kind of got bored, but since then everyone raves about Emily Henry's writing, and I don't know why I didn't like it. Maybe I was in a bit of a reading slump. So I sort of already know what this is about a little bit, and I'm hoping that I like it a second time round, and I will probably, hopefully, enjoy it. But yeah, also because all the reviews and stuff on the back of this are written by authors that I love. So I'm surely if they love this book, Taylor Jenkins Reid, Ali Hazelwood, surely I should like this. Anyway, that's book number 4. Book number 5, speaking of Ali Hazelwood, is Love Theoretically. Now, when I saw this on my bookshelf, I was like, surely I've read that, because I love her other books. She writes the Love Hypothesis, Love on the Brain, and then she has Loathe to Love You, which I think you can get the books individually, but I read them all at once in a 3 set. And yeah, this is just another book of hers. I like that it's about women in STEM, and sort of science backgrounds. I think that's great because it's not just an airy-fairy romance. Very excited to read this because I've loved all her other books. Moving on, we have Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've read a few of her other books, and I picked this up last year and I just never got around to reading it. Pretty sure it's about a couple, something happens to her husband and she now has to meet her mother-in-law for the first time, so that'll be interesting. But I honestly just love this author so much. Moving on, we have 2 Colleen Hoover books. I feel like everyone and their mum has read these books and I have not. They've been sitting on my bookshelf for well over a year now and I just haven't got around. So we have Verity mixed reviews, have heard mixed reviews on this one, but very excited to give it a go. And then we also have It Ends With Us, which I think is being made into a movie, so I'm hoping to read this before the movie comes out. Colleen Hoover has so many other books out there that people have reviewed, and I feel like you either love her books or you hate them, so I'm hoping that I love them because I always see them and I just always want to pick them up, but I have so many other books that I also want to read. So moving on, we have another Emily Henry book, You and Me on Vacation. This is actually my sister's book, so I'm hoping to get around to reading it this year. I feel like it's about, I think it's about a couple who like they see each other every summer, but, oh no, not a couple, like friends, and they see each other every year. And I'm assuming that they fall in love because it's a romance book. So we'll have a go. We'll see how this one goes. Hopefully I like Emily Henry's writing because I've heard amazing things. The next two are part of a series. We have Icebreaker and Wildfire. Actually, I don't know if I think they're a series, but Icebreaker, I feel like this was released last year. I could be wrong though, and I'd heard amazing things. I'd also heard that it is a bit inappropriate. Again, this is just one that I heard all about from like YouTubers and like booktubers, so definitely keen to give it a go. It does look like a really cute like ice skating, ice hockey romance, but I feel like there's more to it. And then Wildfire, I literally know nothing about. I only brought Wildfire because I'd heard amazing things about Icebreaker, and they're from the same author, Hannah Grace, so I'm assuming that this is good. I don't know if they're in the same world or they have the same characters. I guess we'll find out and I'll keep you updated. Okay, my camera battery died, but I'm back. We were talking about Sarah Morgan's book, The Book Club Hotel. I heard about this from, I think it was Rachel Catherine in early December, and I just went out and brought it straight away. I don't think she'd read it when she was talking about it, but it just sounded like such a good book, and it's a wholesome book. It's about friends. It's not a romance book, so I think it's a little bit different. I also haven't read anything from this author before, which personally I think is very exciting because you like when you read a new author, if you like their style of writing, you are probably going to like a lot of their books, and so you sort of just open yourself up to so many more opportunities. So very excited for this one. Moving on, we have Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have already spoken a few times about her other books, but this one I don't really know what it's about. It says one choice, two different paths, so I feel like maybe you get to read from two different like point of views, or if she like chooses different things, maybe there's two different endings to this book. This would be really cool. I also know that this has been released for a while. It's not a new release. The next book I'm going to be talking about is The Rom-Com Agenda. This is my sister's book and I'm borrowing it from her. I have so many of her books on my bookshelf, so I need to read them ASAP to get them back to her. This is obviously a rom-com book. I don't really know anything else about it. It's by Jane Denker. I haven't also heard anything about this author or read anything else from her, but I've heard a few different people talk about this and it seems really, really good. We have another Taylor Jenkins Reid book. We have Malibu Rising. I've owned this for probably about 6 months or so. I think I brought it after I read Carrie Soto Is Back, which I loved, and I also was watching the TV series for Daisy Jones and the Six. I've read that book as well. I think it's amazing, and so I was like, I need everything that she writes, but definitely one that I've heard a lot of people talk about and I just haven't gotten around to reading, just like most of these books on my list. But this is the last physical book that I have. I have my phone here with a list of books that I want to read. So the first, we have 3 books that are part of, I'm pretty sure they're part of a series, or they might just be from the same author. So we have Things We Hide from the Light, Things We Never Got Over, and Things We Left Behind. I'll put pictures of the books on the screen. The books, they look very, very pretty. I've also heard Rachel Catherine again talk about them a few times, and they sound really good. My sister got one of them for Christmas, but I want to purchase all 3 of my own because I want them all like with matching covers, and I want to own them all, like the hard copies. The next book that I need to buy is Business Casual by B.K. Borison, which is the same author of Love Light Farms. That one is actually not released yet. I think it releases in like June, July this year, so I'll be definitely picking it up as soon as it releases, but I'm very, very excited for that, and I have a bit of time to get through some of my physical TBR before that is released. We also have The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. I've heard a few different things about this one. Again, this is not necessarily a new release, but just one that I have yet to pick up. I also haven't seen this in stores very much, which is I think why I haven't picked it up yet, because I just haven't seen it around. I also have Only When It's Us by Chloe. I don't know how to say her last name. I think it's Lies. I'm pretty sure this is part of the like Bergman Brothers. I think, I could be wrong. Yeah, it's Bergman Brothers #1. My sister also has this book. I will probably borrow it from her, and if I like it, purchase my own copy. And there's a few other books in the Bergman Brothers series, but I haven't really looked into those, so that's the only one that's on here. And then we have Red, White and Royal Blue. Again, Rachel Catherine. I get a lot of my book recommendations from her. Absolutely love her content. If you love reading or you just want to watch a Aussie YouTuber, she is amazing to watch. I'll leave her channel linked below. But she has said a few really positive things about this book. And then we have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Again, this is from Taylor Jenkins Reid. I honestly should have read this already. I'm kind of embarrassed that I haven't because it's one of her most popular books, sort of like Daisy Jones and the Six. Everyone has read it, I swear. I just haven't got my hands on it. I think I was going to borrow it from my brother's girlfriend and then I keep forgetting to ask her. Last one is Check and Mate by Ellie Hazelwood. This was released, I think, like late 2023, so I just haven't gone around to purchasing it. Again, my sister has this book, so I will probably borrow her copy and then purchase my own, but I keep seeing it in stores and I keep just being like, I need to buy it because I love all of her other books, so I know that I will want it. That is all 24 books that I would love to read in 2024. I will be filming probably monthly reading wrap-ups to track my progress. You can also follow me on Goodreads. I'll leave it linked below. I only recently got it, so there's not really too much on there for me to share. I'm very excited to read all of these books this year. Hopefully I will read even more than this. I'm looking forward to any new releases. If you have any books that you're reading in 2024 or any reading goals that you have, please let me know below. I would love to hear what your reading goals are and what books you were looking forward to reading. But that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next video.